Good afternoon and welcome to Parc y Scarlets for round 8 of the Celtic Challenge. Brython Thunder are facing the Wolfhounds, a big task ahead of Ashley Beck's team. Ashley Beck's side, 2 wins in a row against Edinburgh, their best run so far this competition, having lost their first 5 games of the season. The Wolfhounds, on the other hand, at the top of the pile once again this season. Last year's champions will be hoping to do it again this year. But remember, the semi-finals and final will come later on this year, with a final on the 28th of March up in Edinburgh. Plenty to play for today then between Brython Thunder and the Wolfhounds. It's a fairly miserable day here in West Wales, but I've got some delightful company today. Catherine Buggy, firstly, how are you feeling about the game today?
Well, I don't usually get called delightful company, but thank you very much. Yeah, the conditions at the moment, they seem okay. A little bit of misty rain, so it might be a slippy ball, but hopefully it doesn't get any worse and we can see a good game of rugby between the two sides.
Absolutely. Brython Thunder, they won 2 on the bounce, having gone 5 games without a win. How much is that going to impact their preparation and the mentality of the team going into the game?
Obviously, it's putting a positive, coming into this game against the Wolfhounds. They also have Gwen Crabb back, George Iona in there, and some experience on the bench in Shona Wakely. So, it's looking good for them. And obviously, the big one is Kate Williams, who's going to be playing today, the Welsh captain. So I think, the forward pack is looking very good. It's just see how the backs can light up today.
Wolfhounds won 7 from 7, sat at the top of the table. How do they manage their mentality and their thoughts going into games like this? Because they've cruised the championship so far.
Yeah, they're quite clinical side, as you can see, on both attack and defence. But Glasgow did a good job at slowing their ball down last week and kept them to a 7-7 for about 35 minutes. So it's what Brython now can do today inside in the first 20 minutes and try to keep them at bay. But Wolfhounds, they just, have depth across the board, really, don't they? They've put out, more changes again today, and yeah, they seem to just keep soaring higher and higher, so they're doing very well.
Yeah, absolutely. And the Celtic Challenge this year with the playoffs after the next 2 rounds, how different is it to have a competition with playoffs compared to just the league phase?
Well, it makes more interesting, doesn't it, really? And also, it's those teams that haven't quite hit the mark at the start have had time to build, and then playoff rugby, well, it's exciting for supporters, isn't it, as well as the teams, and it just brings another 2 games into the competition. And also, yeah, it's one of those things where it's playoff rugby. It's you win or you're gone home. So it does bring a bit more excitement to it.
Absolutely. Plenty of excitement then here for round 8 of the Celtic Challenge. I caught up with both coaches before the game. Ash, 2 wins on the bounce against Edinburgh. How does that feel, and what have been your thoughts since those games?
Yeah, it's been great, it's better than 5 losses on the bounce, so a bit more of a smile coming in. And in all fairness to the girls, they've been great since day one. They've been in with us. We've had a tough start, but to get 2 wins, you can see the confidence. I suppose when we beat Edinburgh away, you could see there was still a bit of edginess between each other and getting over that line, and I think last week they were able to express themselves more because they got the first win. So I'm hoping there's a bit of the monkeys off the back and we can play again depending on the conditions and see how we fare against a team at the top of the table. Yeah,
you mentioned the team at the top of the table. Wolfhounds 7 from 7. They're a great team. What have been the key areas you've focused on this week in training?
So again, for us, I think we lost quite heavily away from home. It was about putting a better performance in, and it wasn't letting them score as easy as we did last time, so we worked on a little bit on our edge D because they've got a lot of Irish internationals who are pretty quick. So working on just a couple of little tweaks which help our game, so hopefully we can impose ours a little bit more when we get the ball in hand instead of spending a lot of time defending.
We're on the final stretch of the season now. The top 4 is key this year to go into the playoffs. Currently sat in 5th. What are your thoughts going into the last 3 games?
Today is just about performance. Can we give a better performance, give a better account of ourselves against the teams at the top, and pretty much been cruising for this campaign. We go to Glasgow away, which I feel like we kind of owe them one, and if we've got any hopes on top 4, we need to come away from there with a win. And last one is obviously Gwalia at home. It's a big local derby. I think Welsh girls all come together for that, and it'll be really exciting to see how that game fares up, especially if we're on a bit of a roll. and hopefully they do us a favour today as well to keep things pretty close between us and Glasgow.
Cheers, Ash.
Thank you.
Neil, 7 from 7 so far for the Wolfhounds. It's been a pretty perfect season so far. You're playing Brython today. What are your thoughts going into this one?
We definitely know it's going to be a challenge. So like we know Brython have had two good wins in the bounce. We've done a bit of homework on them. We can see they're at a new level at their game, so we've got to be aware of the threats that they have, and hopefully we can add some to ourselves.
Absolutely, and this year there's playoffs differently to last year for the Wolfhounds. You're cruising at the top at the moment, but the challenge isn't over. How do you manage the team's mentality knowing that the biggest challenge is still to come?
We look at one game at a time. Very much from us, so we just focus on this weekend, get through that, and then we just go for our next one, which we know is Lightning away. We don't really set ourselves high on anything towards the end of the season. It's very much of what's next.
Kate Williams is in the squad today for Brython Thunder. Does that put a different question mark for your players today? You know, a player of that stature?
Look, we know she's a great player, so we just have to make sure that we have, as I say, done our homework. Hopefully we have, and make sure that we're ready for the threat that we come against. And hopefully, as I say, we've got plenty of players here. We think we can cause a bit of damage. Hopefully we can do that as well. And
you've got 2 big games to come after this one against Clovers and Gwalior Lightning. How important is it to get a win today to have momentum going into those ones?
Yeah, like as I said, we take one at a time, so we are completely focused on today. Make sure we try and get a performance first, and then hopefully we can chase the win.
Thank you for your time.
No hassle. Thank you very much.
Great to hear from both coaches before the game then. Brython Thunder against the Wolfhounds. Not too long to go before kick-off, just about 7 minutes here in Parc y Scarlets in West Wales. Both teams eager for a victory. Brython Thunder pushing towards the top 4, hoping for a playoff spot where they would likely play Wolfhounds away if they were to slot into 4th. And Brython Thunder, 2 wins on the bounce. They'll be hoping to make it 3 this afternoon here in Parc y Scarlets. As we look out, the weather's not fantastic today. It's a bit drizzly, but plenty of action in the Celtic Challenge over the weekend. The Clovers facing Edinburgh, kicking off at the same time as this game here, Brython Thunder and Wolfhounds. And then half an hour later, from Ystrad Gwalior Lightning taking on Glasgow. And as Ashley Beck mentioned earlier, Gwalior Lightning could do a favour to Brython today by beating Glasgow and keeping them within reach before that big game next week between Brython Thunder and Glasgow up at Glasgow's patch. This is the table then. Wolfhounds top of the tree, 7 wins from 7. Clovers, having beaten Gwalior twice, sitting in second, similar to last season sort of structure to the top 3, with Gwalior Lightning sitting in 3rd. Glasgow in 4th at the moment, that final playoff place, and Brython Thunder and Edinburgh both still got a fighting chance of getting into the top 4. Brython hoping to make a dent in that lead that Glasgow have at the moment of 2 points. Quick look at the teams before we head off today, and Brython Thunder in the pack. They have 6 players out of the 8 who've been called up into the extended Welsh squad, including Stella Orrin, who's powerful in the front row. The captain, Gwen Crabb, is with Natalia John in the second row, and then Kate Williams is the main headline in the back row for Brython Thunder, co-captain for Wales in the World Cup last year. Sharon Lockwood and Hannah Marshall are a perfect combination in 9 and 10. They'll be looking to make some plays today. Hannah Bluck is in the centre with Savannah Picton-Powell, both of them in the extended Welsh squad. Amy Williams is in full back position. She played for the Dragons 18s previously. On the bench, plenty of experience as well for Brython Thunder. Shauna Wakely is one to keep an eye on. She certainly has experience in the bag. In the front row for the Wolfhounds, Linda Dujang is certainly someone who's going to steal the headlines today. Very powerful. Alongside her is India Daly and Sophie Barrett. In the back row, Regan Casey, interestingly, has come over from Canada to play for the Wolfhounds, qualifying over there. In the back row with her is Eva Corcoran and Fiona Tuyutit as well. 9 and 10 is Jade Gaffney and Dana O'Brien. Dan O'Brien, an amazing player to say the least. Cara Martin and Eve Higgins in the centre, and Stacey Flood, another experienced player in full-back for the Wolfhounds. Plenty of options on the bench as well for the Wolfhounds. Interestingly, Brython Thunder have gone for a 6-2 split compared to the Wolfhounds, who have gone for a 5-3. Joining me on comms today, Catherine Buggy. Catherine, looking at both team sheets, it's an exciting lineup for both sides.
Yeah, I'm quite excited about Kate Williams coming into the side. Obviously, she's come from Gloucester Hartbury, having a little break over the next few weeks, so she comes in to bolster that Brython side. Wolfhounds obviously have had an amazing run over the competition and are looking to continue that today. But I think it's going to be quite a good fight in the pack. It's just to see how they get on the backs.
Yeah, absolutely. Like you say, the pack for the Wolfhounds, the front row is certainly going to be a talking point, to say the least, because Brython Thunder, I think they back themselves in the scrum as well as the Wolfhounds. That's going to be a fascinating battle, especially on this grass pitch we have today in Parc y Scarlets.
Yeah, well, I had a conversation with Ashley beforehand, and he, like I said, has the Brython scrum weakened a little bit since I last watched you? And he said no, Edinburgh are actually quite a good scrum, so he thinks it'll be quite an equal battle in that. And I think the bolstering of those girls in the back five in that scrum will definitely help. But yeah, I think they'll go for it today.
Yeah, and also I think the back row as well is something that I'd say we're both fairly excited to see, and especially both number 8s going head to head. They're both very, very talented players, and they're both going to be looking to make impacts today.
Well, that's it. Fiona Jude has been a player of the match in one or two of the games for the Wolfhounds, and she is a workhorse around the pitch. But Georgia Iona, also quite a young player, has come back from GB7s, and she also is very, very hard worker around the pitch, so it will be a very interesting battle.
Yeah, 100%. Plenty of areas to keep an eye on today in this game between Brython Thunder and the Wolfhounds. A big day of rugby here and across everywhere in the Northern Hemisphere today. Obviously Six Nations going on at the moment for the men's and for the under-20s, but the Celtic Challenge is getting into the final straight. 3 rounds to go, and after this round of games, Brython Thunder will face Glasgow away and Gwalia Lightning home. On the other hand, Wolfhounds playing Gwalia away and Clovers at home. They're both going to be good tests for the Wolfhounds, those last 2 games with the Clovers and Gwalia. They've potentially had an easier string of games, but then going into 2 tougher ones before the playoffs, that's going to put them in good stead.
Yeah, but I think Gwalia have probably lost a little bit of strength due to the PWR, so have taken away some of their players, which hasn't helped. However, Wolfhounds also have been able to probably rest 1 or 2 players currently, so they'll be ready and firing to go into those 2 games. But at the moment, they're just such a clinical side, it's very hard to see them being beaten.
How important are these games looking forward to the Six Nations for these players? There's certainly a good bunch of players here that are looking to make an impression on their national team coaches. How important is it that they perform at this level, do you think?
Well, yeah, I'm sure Sean and Scott Beeman are both looking at, have been watching all the games. It's one of those where you can put your hand up. That's what they're looking for. Those girls that have been trying to break into the international side are getting that opportunity now to mix with international players, and how they connect together, like that'll be what they will be looking at, how they play together.
Not too long to go before this game kicks off between Brython Thunder and the Wolfhounds, as we see the replacements lining up ready to welcome and greet their fellow players out here in Parc y Scarlets. Wolfhounds first out to the field. Hewitt leading the charge for the Wolfhounds. They will want to go perfect this year, won't they? Having lost 1 game last season, still managed to claim the title this season, 7 from 7. How much Neil Alcorn would love to go 10 from 10 and then all the way in the playoffs. Ashley Beckside led out by Gwen Crabb. 39 caps for Wales for the skipper, and they'll want to extend their run of 2 wins on the bounce. In charge of the game this afternoon, Paddy Bateman. Hopefully we won't be having to make too many references to any decisions, but a big game once again in the Celtic Challenge. Round 8 kicked off by Hannah Marshall. Brython Thunder against the Wolfhounds. Ball hits the turf from Hannah Marshall's kick-off. Ball in the hands here as we see the Wolfhounds set up with Dana O'Brien with that left boot down the field. Well claimed by Amy Williams. Amy Williams with Branwen Metcalf supporting, decides to go straight in to the tackle. Slow ball here for the home team. Natalia John awaiting for the ball. Stella Orin. Help to drive through from Kate Williams. Ooh, Marshall looks to go for the kick, but a big tackle in the middle comes from Cara Martin. Hannah Black was carrying the ball. Gwen Crabb this time.
Hold in front, hold.
The kick downfield. Collected at the back. Stacey Flood launches the ball out to wide, cutting back against the grain. Niamh Marley. Oh, nice show of hands here from Wolfhounds as they look to grow into this game early on. Superb hands towards the far side, but that last pass went forward through the hands. And the first opportunity for us to see the scrum here, but clear intention from the Wolfhounds. They want to play.
Yeah, they've obviously noticed that Brython have overfolded on that blind side and come back down the channel, but the pass has just been forced and knocked it on, or forward pass.
Yeah.
Yeah, not quite the accuracy there from the Wolfhounds. It must be said, the conditions are a bit drizzly. The ball's going to be slippery. But it must be said, it's not the worst conditions I've seen here in Parc Scarlets.
No, I can imagine, but you're going to be seeing plenty of these today.
First one. Thoughts?
Looks like they were going for the push, but it's just it's kind of hard to tell from up here.
Yeah.
It's looking like they're trying to, the tight head on the Brython side, Elan Jones is just trying to come across, and yeah, they've just lost their footing there. Like we said, it is a wet ground today, so it's, all studs in ground.
Yeah, everyone has got their longest option have stood on today. Stella Orin, Trian Bowden and Elan Jones, the three in the front row for Brython Thunder. Linda Dujang, India Daly and Sophie Barrett are those for the Wolfhounds. Fantastic carry from Georgia Iono. Oh, and here we go, breaking through the line, Sarah Lockwood. Lockwood, no options, who has to go herself. Taken to the turf. However, an opportunity here for Brython Thunder to put some pressure on the Wolfhounds early on in this game. The ball through the legs of Amy Williams. Seren Singleton collecting the ball. Tackle coming in from Maggie Boylan. Kate Williams having to act in place of the scrum half. Dujang with the tackle on Talia John. Brython Thunder going backwards ever so slightly here, having broken through the line through Seren Lockwood. They were looking to get into the 22, now back in their own half. Another big shot. Marshall to Williams. Williams. Oh, lovely hands. Great collection on this near side. Seren Singleton, and how much does Singleton love the open field ahead? A superb sevens player. Marshall seeing the space. A clever kick. Bounces once, bounces twice, but into the hands of Stacey Flood. And Flood puts the ball out just outside the 22. A good phase of play there for Brython Thunder.
Yeah, it was a great break by Seren Lockwood. She's deadly in that area where she goes for that snipe. They actually looking to isolate those wingers, which they've done really well there with that pass from Gwen Crabb onto the wing. They just need, if they're going to kick, they need that chase. They need someone to put that pressure on.
Yeah, and Stacey Flood, maybe uncharacteristically, with a poor kick straight over the touchline. Brython go to the back, misses the jumper collected by Elan Jones. Nice hands in the middle from Savannah Picton-Powell. Moving the ball back towards this near side. Hannah Marshall to Branwen Metcalf. Metcalf sidestepping, trying to get away from Maggie Boylan. Questions of offside here from the crowd. The referee happy to play on. Stella Orin that time. Hannah Marshall back inside to Kate Williams. The ball's gone forward. Dujang with the ball in the end. Oh, in the pocket. Dana O'Brien taking her eyes off the ball before gathering it. I guess that's going to be vital today. Those small errors is going to be costly, especially with the weather as it is.
Well, that's an example of the weather. It's a slippy ball. We just, unluckily, wolfhounds trying to clear their lines, and Dan has just caught her over the shoulder. But this should be an interesting scrum. I think Brython had it in the first scrum of the day, so I think they're going to put a lot of pressure on them right now.
5, set.
Yeah, Dana O'Brien, we see there, 22 years old, 30 caps already for the young fly half. Well, good option there, plenty of space behind Amy Williams. There's the experience on young shoulders. Singleton, deep in her own half, trying to beat the first defender. Smart kick from Hannah Black, dropped by Stacey Flood, and the pressure coming from Hannah Black here. Lots of space in the backfield. Amy Williams scrambling across, needs to be first to the ball, and just about was.
Step back. Advantage.
Yeah, fairly clear offside right in front of the referee. So an opportunity here for Brython to roll the dice.
Yeah, Dan is going to look to put that ball in behind the back line. She's doing a good job, but what I've liked from Brython is the fact they're actually putting the ball on top of the player. It's a slippy ball, so you want to put pressure on the catcher, and that's been two like drop balls in the backfield. So I think Brython should probably keep going with that option.
Yeah, as you see that slight error from Stella Orin with pressure from India Daly, but Brython opting to go towards the touchline. Kate Williams and Georgia Iono are in the back line here. Good battle for the ball in the air. Gone forward is the call as it bobbles over the far touchline. And as you said, we're going to see a lot of scrums today because it's very difficult to handle this slippery ball that's going to be in play all day.
Yeah, absolutely, and I think that will have an effect, then a knock-on effect in the substitutions later on, because the front rows they're going to get tired. So yeah, it'll be interesting to see how many scrums we get in the first half, and obviously this will have an impact on kind of like wolfhounds like to play quite fluent rugby, so it'll be be very interesting to see what happens.
Yeah, the delight for the Wolfhounds winning the penalty.
Yeah, Stella Orin just needs to stay square for a bit longer. I think Sophie Barrett has a tendency to actually come in, so she just needs to Stella Orin needs to keep her hips out in order to keep her straight, because what the ref is seeing is that she's driving in, so that's where the penalties just come from.
Last time these two sides met each other, the scoreline 69-0 to the Wolfhounds. Brython Thunder certainly off to a better start than it was that day. Tackle in the midfield. It comes in from Savannah Picton-Powell. Kate Williams supporting, and maul is called by the referee, and the ball has managed to find its way out towards the feet of Jade Gaffney. Show and go from Eve Higgins. Powerful once again from Tewitt. Stolen. Natalia John And despite 4 bodies in blue and yellow, blue and white around the ball, it was the Reds that managed to take it. Marshall looking to go herself. And that half opportunity there was towards the far touchline. There was some space for Brython, but that opportunity missed. Lockwood looks to
Pick him back.
put it into the pocket
Hold.
for Marshall. Yeah, it's a tricky ball to control this afternoon, as we see Stacey Flood. One offload towards the far touchline, tackle coming in the end from Kate Williams, as we see Wolfhounds go through the phases, creeping into the 22 advantage, plenty of space towards this near touchline. Maggie Boylan is waiting for the ball to be crossed. One bounce and over the head of Boylan.
Yeah, Brython they're doing really well at the breakdown. They know that when Wolfhounds get quick ball, they're a real threat going out wide. So they're slowing down that breakdown to try and, you know, get realigned in the defensive line. But unfortunately, I think it was an offside. I think they've just gone offside, and yeah, it's a penalty now to Wolfhounds.
Well, we can hear from the commentary point that rain is starting to pour down here at Parker Scarlets. But if we thought we were going to have a lot of scrums 2 minutes ago, I think we're going to have even more now. The weather is terrible here in West Wales, to say the least.
Yeah, it looks like Brython have stolen that ball in a vital moment on the 5-metre line and are carrying out. I think it's going to be a day for the forwards. I don't know about you, but...
No, absolutely.
Hold in front. Hold.
Marshall,
Hold.
a solid clearance. Great catch, and Flood once again going towards that far touchline. It must be something the Wolfhounds has worked on, attacking down the left. On a penalty, not releasing.
Yeah, they're putting a lot of pressure on, like I said, on the breakdown, but they have to get that release, otherwise they're going to get punished like this. And we know Dana's boot, she's going to get that right on the 5-metre line.
Very early in the game, of course, both sides hoping to attack, get some tries on the board. But at what point do you think these penalties, the teams will start looking towards the posts?
Yeah, it's probably a bit early at the moment. Obviously, Wolfhounds back themselves, so I can imagine they won't be looking anytime soon. If it's still quite a close scoreline in the second half, I can imagine they will then. But currently, right now, they're still testing out their line out, still trying to look at how to get into Brython, so they will look to find those cracks early on.
A dummy throw by Daly the hooker, resulting in a free kick for Brython Thunder. Hannah Marshall, it's not her best kick, but it's worked regardless. Asking the question of Niamh Marley. Half a break on the far side, and the ball's been stolen by Brython Thunder. And you mentioned a few minutes ago, Brython are doing excellent in the breakdown. They're creating plenty of disruption, which is giving Wolfhounds plenty to think about.
Yeah, they've done their homework from last week, from the Glasgow game, and noticed that obviously they put pressure on the breakdown, and that must, you know, has obviously been their focus this week. Unfortunately, has Sarah got it? Yeah, she has. It's just now getting that possession and doing something with it, which at the moment when they have had it, they've been going back, so maybe they might look to put those bombs up again and kick it up high and try to put pressure on the catchers and just have that kick chase, because if they do that, they might get some reward out of the slippy surface and slippy ball.
Here we see half an opportunity for Brython Thunder. It was 4-on-2, but the pass to Singleton not quite on a plate. So Singleton does well to get the ball and collect it. Another scrum here then on the slippery surface at Scarlets.
Yeah, Stella Oren just needs to keep that right shoulder out, and Sophie Barrett likes to, like I said, she turns in, but all the ref is going to see is that Stella Oren is falling her in and her hips are kicking out. I don't know if you can tell, but I really like scrums.
I was going to say, it's great to have someone who loves scrums next to you. It's easy to tell what's going on, the back row, but the scrum is where it's particularly tough for someone who doesn't know what's going on to have someone who's an expert in that domain.
Oh yeah, it's just 16 bodies pushing for the ball, isn't it? That's all you see, really. Sometimes I think the refs don't even know.
The intricacies are crazy to people who don't play the front row. It's a very different art to everything else on the rugby field.
Oh yeah, like that's why they say props come into their own the older they get, isn't it? It's just constant experience. It's all about feel, and no team is the same in how they scrum or what players. So you really have to, just keep basically keep scrummaging for as long as you can. And now I'm waffling, so sorry about that.
Somehow, Brython Thunder breaks through the line. Iono to Kate Williams. Savannah picked and Powell, huge hit on her from Stacey Flood, but a big opportunity here for Amy Williams, pinning her ear box. Amy Williams is going to score! Brython Thunder's first try of the game, and Williams goes all the way to next to the posts, and the supporters are on their feet here. It's a big try for Brython Thunder. Who would have thought it? Brython Thunder ahead against the league leaders, Wolfhounds.
Georgia Iono in the middle of the field, great interlink play between her and Kate Williams. And they've managed to get the ball out to Amy Williams, who's gone in for the try and just basically pinned the ears back and gone. But great interlink play.
And superb offloading work here as well from the forwards and the backs combining. It's a superb try all round.
Well, that's it. Sometimes the bounce pass is the best pass because it's hard to defend. It's now what can they do off this kickoff? If people were here, the weather, it's absolutely starting to hammer it down. So it is not easy conditions. It's just what they can do now off this kickoff. Can they get the ball back, retain it, and send it back down the pitch?
The weather's probably going to help Brython over the Wolfhounds. Wolfhounds play such expansive rugby. The Wolfhounds, they want to play with the ball in hand. Brython here, they're the ones to get on the board first. Now they can look to try and maintain that lead, creep the score up one by one, and hopefully keep the Wolfhounds out.
Well, that's it. Wolfhounds generally tend to play on a 3G pitch. So obviously the conditions of that is totally different to playing on grass. They'll feel it heavier in the legs than they will on a 3G as well. So hopefully at Scarlets, Brython are just a bit more conditioned to that, as in that heavy ground.
Ball stolen by the Wolfhounds, the ball in the hand of Linda Dujang.
Step back.
Gaffney digging for the ball as we see a big hit in the middle from Stella Oren. In the pockets waiting for the ball, Dan O'Brien puts it up high, asking the question, who wants to take it? Stacey Flood, and the ball forward off the hand of the experienced fullback. Lots of space between the players in the backfield and the defensive line for Brython.
Yeah, I think if Brython just looked up here, they could probably see that come back down the short side.
Yeah, decision is to go the other way.
Yeah, it's interesting Dan is putting the kick there really, but just because the ball is so slippy, I know she sees the space, but maybe go through the hands instead. I think putting up that kick is a very 50-50 chance, and Brython have come away now with the penalty.
Yeah, do you think potentially a kick the right option, maybe a little bit deeper, and it would have been better, but overall it can go. It's a 50-50 battle, isn't it, when the ball's in the air? It's a slippery day, and it happened to be Stacey Flood who was underneath the ball, and it went forward.
Yeah, well, I suppose it's that risk versus reward, isn't it? It is very risky in these conditions, and I think they have such a good backline. They're quite clinical. They can move it through the hands and still come away with some metres.
What a difference two big wins can make to a team, it must be said. Brython Thunder
Blue, on your mark.
looking a far different outfit to what we saw in the first 5 games of the season. They look to be playing with confidence in the first 20 minutes here. The ball is loose on the turf, gone forward from the hands of Georgia Iono, but an opportunity for the Wolfhounds to break through the line.
Advantage
Good carry,
over.
Aoife Corcoran. Higgins. Oh, lovely hands to release. Higgins once again, I believe, on the far side. Wolfhounds. A good couple of phases, and then the ball goes forward. Frustration, I can imagine, for the Wolfhounds coaching team.
Yeah, the weather's really suiting Brython at the moment. It's stopping the Wolfhounds from playing. I also think Brython have been very, very clever in the contact area. They're holding up the Wolfhounds players in order to slow it down and get that fold. And I think, yeah, they're doing a really good job at it.
Yeah, it's quite clear to see in the first 20 minutes what Brython Thunder have worked on during the week. That double tackle to try and turn the ball over. It's evident that the work Ashley Beck and the coaching team are doing in the week is paying off today.
Yeah, they look like a completely different side from when they played the Clovers down in Cork. And their backline seem a lot more, they seem like they're working together a lot better, trusting each other a lot more, and they're not trying to move the ball out to the wings as quick. They're trying to punch up the centre first.
2 takes to collect the ball for Maggie Boylan. Kate Williams in the middle, making the tackle in the end. Oh, superb! And it looks as if it is the young number 8, Georgia Iono, over the ball.
Yeah, she's been great on both attack and defence so far, doing really, really well. And she had Kate Williams there just to back her up.
Yeah, that support to stay tight in the contact area. Often the jackler gets all the merits, but it's important to have that support to keep the jackler in place.
Well, that's it. Well, she's made the tackle, got out of the way, and then Georgia Iona's just gone in and seen that she's isolated and got over the ball.
Back once again
Fine.
to your favourite area of the field, as I can see you crouch forward to have a proper look at this one.
Yeah, they're just keeping them at bay, like they're doing really,
Oh,
really well.
what a line, superb from Hannah Black. Needs some support. Hannah Marshall is on the shoulder, but Black doesn't quite see the opportunity. The ball still in the hands of the home team. Back into the 22. Stella Orin on the charge. Brython Thunder, they'll want to score their second of this game. They're here to cause a big upset, but the ball's gone forward. But once again, off the back of the scrum, Brython's attacking structure is looking accurate.
Yeah, their launch plays off the scrum have been very, very good. They've made meters. Obviously, they try off one of them, and once again, meters off that through Hannah Bluck, who has a great run there. Georgiana there on the support. But they are, like I said, look, very, very different team from what we saw a few weeks ago, and it's really, really nice to see that they are coming in on.
An injury to Stacey Flood for the Wolfhounds as we have a quick stop after 23 and a half minutes or so.
Okay, cheers, thank you.
It must be said, it's been a great start for Brython Thunder. From a Wolfhounds perspective, what do they need to change? What do they need to do to get their first points of the game?
Well, they need to make sure that they control the breakdown a bit better. Brython have had about 3 or 4 turnovers, so they really need to make sure that they're clearing those tacklers away and assist tacklers to allow them to play quick ball, because currently at the moment that is where they're struggling. Then it's just eyes up. There are gaps there, but they just need to be patient, punch the ball up first and then go out wide. They're getting a bit impatient and kicking it a bit too early, and I think if they hold on to the ball they'll make those meters.
Set.
Clearing the ball, O'Brien, bounce of the ball, kind to Seren Singleton, who offloads to the try scorer.
Hold,
Amy Williams.
hold.
Good option from Savannah Picton-Powell.
Yeah, it is a good option, and although the ball has gone out, Brython have been really good defensively in the line out, so you know it's putting pressure back on Wolfhounds to play.
Quick chat between Daly and Sophie Barrett ahead of this line out. Couple of dummies before going to the front. O'Brien with one pass into the centre for Cara Martin. Round the corner. Come the forwards. No hands, says the referee. This time,
Hold.
O'Brien from a more central position. Plenty of space in behind the Wolfhounds
Come in.
chase. And how is this one going to bounce? The chase is on. Hannah Marshall is after it. Pressure on. O'Brien here.
No, accidental.
Marshall seemed to have been taken out off the ball.
Yeah, I just think it was tripped off one of the Wolfhounds players' foot. She didn't seem too happy about it, to be honest, but I think it was just accidental. She's just got caught on the Wolfhound player's foot. But it was a great kick. She's seen that the space is there, and then given the chase, I think if she had got there, they would have got an extra few metres on this line out.
Five.
It is accidental, but you can see why Hannah Marshall would be bitterly frustrated. Forward, it's gone. Another scrum here. And this one much closer to where we're sat in the stands.
I can get a real good analysis now of it.
But once again, the ball tough to control. And on this grass pitch, the scrum is an interesting, fascinating area of play today. And it's gone both ways. Brython Thunder solid enough to hold their own ball. One penalty in the scrum so far, going the Wolfhounds' way.
Set.
The ball is out and it's a kick downfield over the head of Amy Williams. The ball bouncing over the try line, grounded by Brython. And it's going to be a goal line dropout here. And in terms of territory, it's a clever move.
I'm not really sure, but Wolfhounds haven't really had that much possession.
Let's make sure we're
And
behind,
I'm just wondering, do they need to get into this game by actually holding on to the ball? Yeah, they've kicked it downfield, but you know, it hasn't really put much pressure on Brython.
Well controlled by the right winger Maggie Boylan. The supporters, the Brython Thunder supporters, asking if that one went forward. The ball still in the hands of the Wolfhounds. Big carry here from Concover. Dana O'Brien begging for the ball round the ankles from Seren Singleton and Boylan. Fascinating battle between those two wingers. Dujang taken down by Branwen Metcalf. Gwen Crabb and Kate Williams.
Whoa.
It's fantastic work from both. And not only the players are growing into this game, but the crowd are starting to grow into it as well. There's a sense of belief here today for Brython Thunder.
Yeah, and they absolutely should be. They've been playing so well so far. They've had a lot of the possession. They've been very clever in how they've, once again, there's no coincidence they've held that up
Same message to you, though.
for the
Make sure we
fourth
start
time, trying to choke tackle that player, because that's where they know they're getting their just rewards. So they're doing really, really well in stopping Wolfhounds from playing.
Yeah, praise to Stella Orin and Gwen Crabb for holding that one up. Despite turning the ball over, Brython are still deep in their own half, and they'll need a clean ball in and out here as the Wolfhounds charge forward. Penalty to Brython Thunder. And tell me what happened there.
He's saying that Linda Dugang has driven in, which means she's not a straight angle. You have to drive your shoulder square first in order to be rewarded. So yeah, that's basically what's happened. And it's very easy to go once the tight head has gone in. It's very easy to follow, but you have to stay square on the loose head side.
Yeah, I guess sometimes the eye test there was telling me that the Wolfhounds were going forward. It could have been a penalty to them, but of course, as you say, the angle of the shove not quite right from the Wolfhounds.
It has to be north-south first. It can't be in from the side.
They've done it again. Brython Thunder. Superb.
I honestly can't. I haven't got words for how different this team is in comparison to what it was a few weeks ago. It is really, really good to see, and the belief that they have. It's now just capitalising. Can they get something out of this first half? If they could put another score on the board, I think the Wolfhounds would be going in scratching their heads at half time.
Yeah, there's plenty for Neil Olcott and the Wolfhounds coaches to think about regardless. But how do Brython Thunder push on from here? It's been a great half. 7 points, I think it's fair to say, isn't going to be enough come the end of the game.
Well, that will be depending on the bench, that will be a big teller, because as you know, benches can win matches.
Oh, carnage in the back for Maggie Boylan and a penalty.
Knocked on.
Brython Thunder are playing superb rugby, showing heart this afternoon.
Offside.
They've got a penalty within the 22, and they'll look to go to the corner here. And there was Seren Singleton with the pressure.
Yeah, they've been really clever about their tactically just giving that little grubber, putting the pressure on
the line.
And obviously it's been gone through the legs, and now they have a penalty just on the 5 metre line, and I can imagine they're going to maul this, because that has been a strength of theirs throughout the competition.
No second thought from the Wolfhounds to try and compete for the ball. Driving maul is the option. The ball is out. Lockwood to Savannah Picton-Powell. Black on a good line, however, needs some support. Marshall looks to put the kick over the top. Oh, and Stacey Flood was there to collect the ball. Doesn't quite gather it cleanly as it goes over the touchline for another throw for Brython.
No, but it's good to see that line from Block. Just keeping the defence honest, and Hannah Marshall has kicked it, put up a high ball. Stacey Fuller has gone onto it, but they have a second chance now in the line out, as it's been knocked out by Stacey.
Wolfhounds maul defence was good the first time of asking. The ball doesn't find the hands of Metcalf. Instead, at the back, waiting for it was Georgia Ainu. Phase by phase, Brython will look to edge towards the try line. Knock on, we hear on the referee's microphone as they pick and go, asking the questions of the Wolfhounds defence. It's the forwards for Brython doing the damage at the moment. Lockwood to Marshall. Marshall waiting for the ball. Oh, superb play from Brython Thunder. Savannah Picton-Powell crosses the try line. Delight in the stands. Delight for the players. Brython Thunder 12 points to the good against the Wolfhounds.
Yeah, I said before the game that the centre partnership with the Wolfhounds, usually Aoife Dalton, they're an amazing defender, but I'd say if there was going to be a weak link in the chain, it was going to be in that centre partnership, and she's just sliced right through them. Done very well. I think Georgia Iona was holding the width on the other side, and they had two options there for that try.
We've got 45.
And as we saw earlier from the scrum plays, Brython Thunder's backs, they're really on song at the moment. It feels like they're settled into this season. They're playing with confidence, and they know how to strike and penetrate that defensive line.
Yeah, I had a conversation with Ashley after the Clovers game, and I said, you guys, when you go forward and just cut those lines, that is where you are a strong outfit. And I'm not going to take any credit for that, but we had the conversation. But it's interesting to see now that they're doing it and they're really like striking through them first and then looking to go wide. So it's great scoreline for Brython to be going in at.
Time in.
They just now have to keep it, don't they?
There's another half to go here. It's not over at all. Wolfhounds have not been in this position at all this season. They've only conceded 13 tries across 7 games. Already conceded 2 in this first half. Picton Powell once again effective, showing why she's been selected in the extended Welsh international squad. Marshall in the pocket.
Hold in front, hold.
Kick downfield. Stacey Flood will watch the ball bounce. Bounced kindly straight into her hands. Questions are forward. And the ball bobbles out to the hands of Cara Martin.
Yeah, Brython, their composure right now is what they need to continue doing now into the second half. They have another scrum. Like Wolfhounds currently at the moment are trying. They're just trying to find answers and can't seem to find them. And yeah, Brython are just the more composed team right now.
What do you think is going to be going through the heads of the Wolfhounds head coaches, Neil Alcon? What's he going to want to say in the changing rooms at half time? Because it's been an absolute battle out there, and Wolfhounds they haven't thrown a punch.
No, like I said, the conditions, were they expecting this? I'm not sure, but they're going to have to change their game plan because at the moment what they're doing isn't working. They need to really make sure that they secure that breakdown area.
Singleton carrying effectively. Eve Higgins making the tackle, but once again we see joy for Brython Thunder off the back of a set piece. Lockwood to Marshall. Picton Powell launching it out wide towards Branwen Metcalf. Great endeavour from the home team.
Yeah, it is. It probably didn't need to have that missed pass. There was enough players there just to go through the hands. But it's really good positive play from Brython.
Just make sure you're 2 meters, yeah.
And like that, on the line out, they're quite putting a lot of pressure on them defensively, and so that's also good to see.
Nothing seems to be going the Wolfhounds' way in this first half of Parker Scarlets. Iono, a big carry. Ball in the hands of Branwen Metcalf. Metcalf almost punching a hole in the Wolfhounds' defence. Oh, Hannah Marshall with the ball slippery out of her hands. There was half an opportunity there for the Wolfhounds to attack. And the ball's gone forward again. It must be so frustrating. If you're a Wolfhound supporter, it's difficult to understand what's going on. It's important to stress the conditions are terrible here. It's a slippery ball. It's been raining flat out since we arrived here. But it's very, very strange to see this performance.
Well, yeah, it's even just there, that knock on. It's not with the ball, it's what's happening off the ball. So Brython have put a little bit of pressure on that ruck, and when they're not in the right position, it's affected the 9, and they've knocked it on, given Brython the scrum. So it's that off the ball stuff as well that they just need to, improve in the second half.
Iono picking the ball up. Oh, superb carry from the big number 8. Lockwood to Marshall. Plenty of options on here. Oh, they go for the scissors. However, not quite the right option. Mabley Evans with the ball in hand decides to go straight towards the defender, her opposite number, Maggie Boylan. Turnover. Eve Higgins, and Higgins looks to attack. And it's a big tackle from Singleton. The ball's gone forward from the hands. And Flood in the end deciding to put boot to ball. Marshall waiting to see how the ball bounces. Plenty of space in behind the Wolfhounds line. Dana O'Brien, she's got a big boot, and this one's going to bounce a couple of times in the 22 before Marshall
back, Red.
gathers the ball, decides to put it over the touchline. And I'd say maybe a small win for the Wolfhounds in that piece of play.
Yeah, they've obviously got meters going forward, but I can't see it stress Brython too much. But it is good to see them getting more yardage in that kicking battle.
Yeah, the Wolfhounds coach is not too far away from us from commentary here today, having a big conversation, trying to decide what's going to be said at the half, and there it is. That's enough, says Paddy Bateman. What a superb half of rugby from Brython Thunder. 2 tries for the home team, the first coming for Amy Williams. Hannah Marshall with a conversion, and then Savannah Picton-Powell with a second. Not too long to go before half-time when she crossed for that one. But Wolfhounds, the undefeated Wolfhounds, at the top of the tree at the moment, 7 from 7 behind at the break. Listen to the roar of the crowd. It shows how much it means to these supporters, the family, the friends. They can sense that something's happening this afternoon at Parc y Scarlets. The score at the break, Brython Thunder 14, Wolfhounds 0. And it's been a fascinating half of rugby.
Well, so far I've really enjoyed it. I know I'm an Irish player, ex-Irish, but the Brython team, what you can do in a few weeks. They look like a totally different side. They're linking up together defensively. They've done their homework, know where the Wolfhounds are weak at that breakdown, and they're just playing with confidence and control. And it's really good to see in these conditions. The Wolfhounds, like I said, they're going to be going in at half time scratching their heads and wondering, right, where do we go from here? But you can be sure that they will come out looking like a different team. I think they're going to put that first half behind them now and go into the second half as if it's a new game.
Yeah, here we go, looking at the tries once again from the first half, and the bounce pass from Catherine. What do you think Ashley Beck is going to be saying to his players right now in the changing room?
Don't take the foot off the pedal. Keep doing what you're doing. But they did not stop from 1 to 40, but now it's that endurance and seeing how they go into the second half. I think the first 10 minutes of this game, or the second half, is going to really tell what Wolfhounds have they actually corrected in the first half, what has been going wrong. But I think the first 10 minutes is vital for Brython to kick on.
I can imagine that these Wolfhounds players, they're going to be coming out absolutely furious with their first half performance, and I'm sure Neil Alcorn would have given these girls a piece of his mind.
Well, absolutely. They should be taking it personally that they're going in as reigning champs, 14 goals down to probably a side they underestimated a bit, and they should be kicking themselves for going in with that scoreline.
Which way?
40 minutes to go between Brython Thunder and Wolfhounds.
Red, ready? Time in.
But I can remember, I don't think any team other than Clovers has ever beaten the Wolfhounds.
No, I don't think so either. So
a competition first could be on the cards.
That's it. We love to see it though. It makes it interesting, doesn't it?
Second half then underway. So we see Stella Orin tuck the ball up into contact. Gwen Crabb, strong carry. Marshall downfield. We've seen plenty of action in the kicking game. Stacey Flood here, taken down by Natalia John and Ella Jones. Patiently waiting for it, Kate Jordan.
Hold, 3.
Dana O'Brien puts it high. Oh, it's a tough ball to deal with. Great work from Mabley Evans in the end. A bit of confusion between Mably
Take him
Evans
back.
and Hannah Marshall.
Hold in front.
And Marshall puts it downfield. O'Brien again. This must be something they've spoken about. Put the kick up to contest.
Back.
Orin under the ball goes backwards. Brython Thunder managed to regather the crumbs on the floor. Talia John into contact.
No.
Sophie Barrett was looking to get over the ball. The option wasn't there. Marshall, a low kick. It's a good kick. It crosses the touchline this near side, and it's a positive start for the Wolfhounds.
Yeah, like you said, it looks like they're almost giving Brython a taste of their own medicine and putting in those high balls for them to get under. Brython done well, turned the body sideways. So although they are might not be catching it on the full, the ball is going backwards, not leading to a scrum. And now it's back in Wolfhounds.
Front ball, as we see Gaffney pass it out towards O'Brien. Big tackle from Brython Thunder to Hewitt. Big carry from the number 8, as we see Wolfhounds playing with a bit of front football. Dan O'Brien, clever play, one bouncing over the touchline. And Wolfhounds, they look to pin Brython back in their own half, maybe even their own 22, for as long as they can, hoping for an error.
Yeah, we hadn't seen much of Fiona Tuitt in the first half, but we can see what she can do when she is carrying. She will make those metres. But yeah, you're right, Dana is looking to pin Brython back and hopefully look for that error.
Loose ball. Oh, who's first to the ball? It just shows how much Rhian Bowden wants to be the first to it. Linda Dujang, second best to the ball on the deck. Turnover, despite that regather from Rhian Bowden. Aoife Corcoran over the ball. Big turnover for the Wolfhounds. They look to put Brython back in at 22.
I would think Brython would feel a bit hard done by there. It looked like Aoife Corcoran was actually on the ball in the first instance, so I can imagine they would be feeling a bit hard done by.
Yeah. Time off just so she can do her race.
Yeah, quick stoppage here to lace up the boots on this near side, but it's a good start
Just pass my shot. Make
to
sure
the
we stay
second
on our
half, as
feet
we
in
see.
rucks, and we're not coming off our feet, okay?
Well, blood, sweat and tears. We've had blood and sweat. There might be tears of joy by the end of this game if Brython manage to seal the victory. Metcalf
Knock on red.
causing the disruption. It's gone
Off red,
forward,
it's touch.
and they'll have the option here. Wolfhounds
Option scrum or line.
scrum or line out. I think I know
Option,
which
scrum
option
or
they
line.
would go for. However, seeing the way the game went in the first half,
Scrum.
I would have thought Wolfhounds potentially would have gone to the line out.
Was it in the line?
Yeah,
out?
that's it. Well,
There's an
like
knock on
I've
in
said,
the line
Brython
out.
are defending quite well on the line out, so if they can just get the ball in and out, it will give them a clean platform. So I think that's what they're looking to do, and obviously it brings them in an extra into the 15, so they'll have the blind side to play with as well.
Just say messages to the first half, make sure we're staying square at the start, yeah?
Paddy Bateman asking for both sides to stay square. Same messages as they were in the first half.
5 set.
But the Wolfhounds feed into the scrum. In and out quickly. And an error. Another handling error from the Wolfhounds. Cara Martin doesn't quite match the pass. Georgia Iono drops
First
it
by
there.
blue, second
Also
by red.
clear to see the conditions once again. We've mentioned it a couple of times in the first half, how slippery the ball is out there. It's very drizzly here in Parker Scarlets.
Yeah, the green is now becoming a lovely brown shade at the moment. Yeah,
Hopefully the groundkeeper's not listening.
Can you watch her grab that?
Apologies. Yeah, unfortunately, just that link play and like I said, that centre partnership for Wolfhounds. Cara Martin just mistimes her run and it's just slightly gone behind her. But then Georgia Ione has taken her eye off the ball and it's led to a scrum.
Brython looking to play from deep here. In the end, Amy Williams puts boot to ball off her left foot and it bounces just past Stacey Flood. Singleton putting some pressure on the fullback. The ball inside to Maggie Boylan.
No.
Plenty of bodies in the breakdown for Brython. Wolfhounds working the ball down the far side. Trying to dance away from the touchline. In the pocket, O'Brien. Amy Williams does well to keep an eye on that ball. A low kick through, not conventional, but it's worked. Now Flood looks to prepare to go on the attack, but the kick is the option. And Marshall, with one hand, collects the ball. A lovely low kick into the 22, well, just outside the 22 of the Wolfhounds. Oh, lovely touch from Hannah Bluck, showing her footballing skills there. As she decides to go straight into contact over the ball.
Lifting the ball, no.
But it's still there for Brython. Natalia John combining with Kate Williams, two experienced players in the red of Brython Thunder. As we see once again, the ball tough to collect. First time of asking for Rhian Bowden. Lockwood does well to gather the ball that was spiralling out of the breakdown. Orin to Marshall. Marshall sees some space, a chip over the top. Victor Powell collects one pass and it just about slides past the hand of Amy Williams. But there's the sort of... There's Hannah Marshall at her best. She sees a space, half an opportunity, lovely kick and creates an opportunity.
Yeah, I've been really impressed with Hannah Marshall today. She's come back from TV sevens, and it does take a minute when you've gone 7s to 15s, but she's really controlling the game well today. Her kicks have been quite, very accurate, always with purpose. It's really unfortunate there. She's just managed to pass the ball forward. I think she could have even gone herself.
Yeah, this is Hannah Bluck's touch. I'd say that's 10 out of 10.
Yeah, it's a good bit of skill, that is.
Time still off.
Substitution here for Wolfhounds. India Daly has left the field, so an early substitution in the front row for the Wolfhounds. How much is that going to impact the front row now? A fresh pair of legs in there. Is that going to work in Wolfhounds in their favour?
Well, it's fresh legs, isn't it? But at the moment they're under the pump, so it'll just be interesting to see how at line out and scrum at the set piece how Maeve is able to perform. I don't think the kitman would be too happy another sub going on though, because that means one more wash of the jersey. But
yeah, the lovely white on the Wolfhounds jersey is not going to be white by the end of the 80 for any of these players.
No, I can imagine it's going straight into the detergent when they get into the change rooms.
But as you were saying, it's Maeve Clenaghan in the front row. Sophie Barrett, the tight head prop, is getting some medical attention here. Looks like some strapping on the finger.
Yeah, time on.
As we prepare to go back into battle. And it's a scrum here for Wolfhounds. Like we've seen throughout the game, in and out. Quick ball is what both sides want.
Yeah, we always get asked the question when you're coming on in the front row, would you prefer to come on at a line out or a scrum? And I always say scrum.
Set.
Oh, it's a great battle, isn't it, between both sets of packs. Out there, Kate Williams quickly out to the scrum. Pressure here on Dana O'Brien.
Hold.
It's a good kick downfield. Amy Williams looks up, decides to go for it. Ball still there. Kate Williams initially looked to go down the short side.
No.
Singleton stepping in to the scrum half position. She's familiar with that position for Brython Thunder. Savannah Picton-Powell under pressure, puts boot to ball.
Red, take the
Yeah, I
line,
think
okay?
she got ragdolled there. When she kicked the ball, it probably should have been looked at by the
Red on the
linesman.
line.
Or
Yeah,
Yeah, we'll have
time off. Red
another
2.
look. Substitution for Brython Thunder. Chanel Williams comes
Just
on
make
to
sure
the
you're on
field
2
instead
meters,
of
yeah?
Rhian Bowden.
Time off.
Rhian Bowden, another excellent shift from the experienced hooker. Oh, the ball like a hot potato in the line out. And the first opportunity for us to see Chanel Williams. Brython working it
Advantage,
towards the far
blue 10
side.
offside.
Advantage here, so an opportunity for Brython to have a go. Try something a little bit different. Well, when I say try
10
something a little bit
offside.
different, I'm not sure I meant Gwen Crabb going for a grubber.
Blue 10, offside.
Speechless.
well, I think she got more of the ground than the ball, to be honest. Probably not her forte. Won't lie, but
I'm not sure this is going to make
no, yeah,
it.
she definitely got ground.
I wonder if that's going to be on her Instagram later on today.
No, but I'm sure it'll be on the fines list, definitely.
Not the skipper's brightest moment of the match. Nevertheless, Brython Thunder have a good attacking opportunity here. Their first entry into the 22 in the second half.
6.
Yeah, Chanel Williams, an exciting prospect for
Hey, just step
Wales.
off.
Been very unlucky. She, I think she was
Make
concussed
sure you're in
against.
the
It could have
15,
even
in
been.
the
It was either
15.
Glasgow or Wolfhounds, but she's been out for the last few weeks. But she's a very promising player for the Welsh side.
Loose ball at the back. Penalty to the Wolfhounds. Brython, they'll be bitterly
Ball was
disappointed.
Offside.
First line out, not accurate enough. As we see O'Brien clear the ball.
Ball wasn't out. No.
Half an hour to go here at Parker Scarlets. Brython Thunder, the home team, ahead, 14 points.
No compete. Off
Yeah,
a foot.
despite the line out not being straight, not competed by Brython Thunder, so play goes on. Good kick, hanging in the air. Amy Williams goes up to collect the ball. It's
Drop
gone
on
forward.
advantage. Step back.
Still there.
Tackle.
Brython Thunder with another strong tackle, but Wolfhounds starting to show their teeth. Eve Higgins with the support of Cara Martin on the shoulder. Talia John over the ball. No advantage.
Knocked on.
Yeah, I think that should have gone back for a scrum about 2 phases ago. It was a knock on both ways.
Yeah, blue 4 and blue 11. Blue 4 and 11 change.
Brython probably should
Yeah.
look to go up
11
from the
blue.
line out because it was.
Change.
You raised your arms a little bit, but because Brython didn't compete for the ball, even though it was crooked, it allowed Wolfhounds to play
Yeah,
on.
11,
Brython, if they
11.
just keep putting the pressure on, they did in the first half on the hooker. Yeah, I think they will.
6 red.
They will look to get the
Number 6.
advantage off of it.
Replacement for Brython Thunder.
Yeah,
Branwen
time back on.
Metcalf comes off for Lucy Isaac. Branwen Metcalf, she's been influential this afternoon for Brython Thunder. A fantastic player, like her sister Zolnell, who's here watching along today. A talented family of rugby players.
Very talented rugby family,
Five.
and do you know what? Very, very nice people, and that's a massive part of it as well. You know, they're hard working, both of them, and like you can see today, Bronwyn, for such a young age, she carries the ball really well. It's all the small technical things that she does very, very well, and like that was why she was rewarded into that World Cup squad just gone. So she is definitely one to look at in the next few years. I can see she'll be a starter for the Welsh side for years to come.
Yeah, absolutely. Wales are pretty stacked in the back row at the moment, with plenty of players such as Kate Williams, Alex Callender, Beth Lewis, but there's a good crop of youngsters coming through as well.
Well, that's it, and Siúan has talked about it previously. It's that under-18s, under-20 side, how exciting. I had to stop talking because they just scrummed over.
Incredible scrum, and it's been touched on the way through by Maggie Boylan as well. That's a big passage of play for Brython Thunder. Huge shove in the scrum. Be good to see. Well, I'm sure the Brython Thunder supporters would like to see that one again. I'm sure you would like to see that one again.
Well, it looked like they were doing the electric slide backwards there on the mud. Yeah, I would like to say in there earlier, the prospect that they have those players coming in from the under-20 side, like, you know, Siúan Illigraf is with the under-20s, and Sean Lynn obviously has spoken about it previously to me and said it's really exciting, you know, those players coming up through the ranks. And competitions like this obviously help with their development in terms of playing with those senior international players.
Here comes the rain once again. Making things just that fraction more difficult, especially in the line out. Crab goes up with the ball in the hand of Tiuet, and this time coming away just outside their 22. Wolfhounds in the pocket waiting for the ball. Dana O'Brien, a lovely flat pass, it bounces straight into Hannah Marshall's hands, up and under. Who's going to be first to the ball? No one wants it, but Hannah Marshall is almost gathering the ball in the 22. The brief moment of excitement for the Thunder supporters here in Parc y Scarlets, but Hannah Marshall using Dan O'Brien's tactic against her.
Yeah, there's just a bit of confusion between Dan O'Brien and Jade Gaffney as to who is receiving that ball, but like that, this is what the conditions are causing them to do, is put that ball nice and high and obviously create that error. And Hannah Marshall, great kick chase, she's just so unfortunate she didn't get the bounce.
Gaffney off the field by now, replacement in the scrum half position, as we see Alex Connor step onto the field. But that try, if it would have bounced kindly into Marshall's hands, would have been almost a score to seal the game, the way things have been going this afternoon. O'Brien over the top of Mabley Evans as she has to chase back to gather the ball. Oh, that looked high. Penalty advantage to Brython Thunder. Yeah, I'm not.
Penalty only, always drop it.
Well, I must. The referee's saying always dropping, but my initial thought was that could have been a fraction high from the chasing Wolfhounds player.
Oh, I think she's very, very lucky there. Very lucky. That's shoulder to head.
Yeah, it's got to be said, if there was TMO here,
Yeah,
it would certainly be in the bunker.
oh yeah, it would be a yellow card. Definitely a yellow. She's a little bit passive, but it is shoulder to head. That would have been a yellow card. But like you said, we don't have TMO here, so I think she's gotten away with that one.
Yeah, Wolfhounds can count themselves lucky here. Just over 20 to go. Yeah, and just in case there was any doubt if this was high, it was Maeve Clenaghan
Yeah, she hasn't even dipped last minute. She is, or she has plenty of time to change her height, and she hasn't done it. But look, unfortunately, like for Brython, it hasn't been seen. Unfortunately for wolfhounds, it has, or it hasn't been seen. I mean,
is there an element of empathy with the officials? It's tough to see things with one goer today. Was that blatant?
It is hard to see. Like you can't, you see on referees in the international game, they're looking at clips for a good 3 minutes, and so you get one snippet and that's it, and that's all you have is the view probably of realistically the referee and the linesman. So you can understand when these can get missed, especially on a ball like that where it's a kick and it's a counter attack.
Keep the standard there now, okay?
It's been a game of set piece this afternoon. Another scrum here.
You can see India Daly's moved to 8 now.
Yeah, Daly into the number 8 position. Fiona Jewett is in the second row by now, so both second rows are different. However, Concover has moved onto the flank. Wolfhounds moving the ball towards the wing. A grubber first to it. Mabley Evans, and drops the ball a metre or so from her own try line. Borderline disaster for Brython Thunder, but her fellow teammates all around her supporting. There's a good option from Wolfhounds, and there's a lot of pressure now on Brython, 5 metres away from their own try line.
Yeah, very clever option. Like the bounce almost got her, but they're still under that pressure now of a 5 metre scrum. But can the Wolfhounds attack here and come away with something?
I can't remember the Wolfhounds having an opportunity as good as this to score. An hour has been in this game. Wolfhounds so far this season, 51 tries, yet to score a point in this game against Brython Thunder. Penalty to Brython Thunder over the ball. Georgia Iono, you can see how much that meant to all the players on the pitch. That could be a game-winning moment.
Well, if you want to take the wind out of Wolfhound sails, that's how you do it. 5 metres out. They got a great shove on actually in the scrum, but Georgia Iono has just got over that ball, and now they're back up near the 40 metre line.
I would say heart in the mouth moment there for Hannah Marshall. It looked as if that kick was barely a metre over the touchline. 20 minutes to go. Brython Thunder ahead.
Not straight.
And the line out is proving to be an issue for both sides at the moment.
Yeah, they've gone for what we call the cheeky front ball. So they tried to go around the front of the line out. Unfortunately, it just hasn't gone straight. As you can see, yeah, they've gone up. So they've gone to compete, hasn't gone straight. So it's gone to a scrum. But yeah, with the conditions at the moment, they're trying to keep it as less risky as possible, really, and putting the ball in.
Does the front ball always need to be cheeky?
We like to call it cheeky because you usually make a few metres.
From one set piece to another. Scrum. The ball in the hands of Alex Connor. As we see Dan O'Brien lurking not too far from directly behind this scrum.
Yeah, Wolfhounds in the last scrum got a good shove on, so it'll be interesting to see now if they are going. Well, they really have to go for it, don't they, to get this possession back. They're 2 tries down and 18 minutes left, so they will. Oh, they have possession of the ball, excuse me. I think they'll be looking to go the same way they did on the 5 metre line and try push this Brython pack over.
What do the Wolfhounds need to do? They need a score as soon as they can, but in terms of the way they're playing, what do they need to change?
They need to hold on to the ball, really. If you haven't got the ball, you can't score. So kicking it away, it's worked in some instances, but they haven't got anything from it. Once again, it's gone.
Disbelief.
I can imagine they're struggling to come up with answers right now.
Advantage over. Hold blue, hold.
Kick downfield from O'Brien, under the ball. Hannah Marshall calls the mark, takes the sting out of the game for a moment or so. But I can't believe what the Wolfhounds players, supporters, coaches, they would be thinking, because, well, we're in disbelief as well to see how often they're losing possession of the ball. You know, simple errors being made. It's a very strange performance from the Wolfhounds.
Yeah, like I said, they look to kick it in the second half. They were trying to do what Brython had done to the Wolfhounds in the first half, but they just haven't had enough possession to actually do anything with it, and Brython are just doing such a good job of disrupting their ball that they continue. I'd love to see the stats for the possession for Wolfhounds, because it hasn't been much.
Eve Higgins has come off the field. That ball's gone forward as well. There's just no proper ball in play time in this second half. It's error after error, but that's playing into the hands of Brython Thunder.
Oh, absolutely. They're 2 scores up. Every scrum means it takes another minute and a half or so to set up and get going. So, well, they're going to be delighted with that, aren't they? It's constantly eating at the clock.
The undefeated Wolfhounds, 14 points behind against Brython Thunder and Parker Scarlets. The conditions are getting worse, but the players, they need to have their eyes still on the prize. Ball over the top of Amy Williams. There's some pressure on the full back. Amy Land, the replacement, manages to put pressure on the full back. Kate Williams.
Pass back.
Marshall waits for the ball. Stacey Flood doesn't quite have the right read. Seren Singleton putting pressure on Flood. Dan O'Brien, Singleton a double tackle. Picton Powell over the ball. The crowd can't believe that wasn't a penalty. Charge down kick. Amy Lan was carrying there to Hewitt. Dujang now for Wolfhounds. Finally a couple of phases. O'Brien boots a ball and it bounces a couple of times. Do you think the Wolfhounds need to keep on to the ball here? They're trying to play for territory.
Oh, absolutely. The Brython defence there, they were so narrow that they should have played it out wide. I don't know why they've gone for the kick back to the same direction. Brython are starting to get a little bit tired now. So, that option to go wide will be on, because they're going to get tired in defence. But the chase from Seren Singleton there to do that double tackle, that was good, wasn't it?
And it looked as if Picton Powell was all over that ball.
Oh, she was. That was turnover for me, but maybe I should find my new vocation in refereeing.
We've got the perfect angle here.
It was right in front of us. It was right in front of us, to be fair. And there was a lift, but I think the referee might have had a body in front that he wasn't able to see it.
Yeah, we see the charge down in a half. Opportunity for Amy Land to burst through the defensive line for Brython. As you're saying, a couple of injuries here for Brython Thunder. Stella Orin
they've got a player down as well.
is on the ground. She has been excellent for Brython Thunder throughout this campaign.
Very, very good.
So we've played.
It's very hard to say that one player has not absolutely pulled their weight today. Like, they've all been. They're playing like they want it more. and I think that's been the big difference. Like in those kick chases and everything, they've just, you know, they've put in 110%, and you can see by the way, like, the injuries are now getting those niggles, but hopefully they can just keep going, and they do still have that bench to use, so it's when they will utilise that.
Yeah, absolutely. They've only made 2 substitutions so far, Brython Thunder. 6 players to empty the tank in the final 15 or in the final 10 minutes, depending on Ashley Beck's strategy. Peeling out Chanel Williams over the ball as Williams is opposite number. Clenahan. Orin. Wolfhounds trying their very best to steal this one back. Natalia John clearing out. Elan Jones. Question marks on how many phases before Brython Thunder decide to exit. Lockwood in a bit of danger here. Support on the shoulder from Kate Williams and Talia John. Hannah Marshall decides enough is enough, and that one's touched on the way through. So it'll be a line out to Brython Thunder regardless. Great outcome for the home team.
Yeah, it looks like Robin Dave's just about to come on. They've luckily got that touch, so it's Brython Ball, who's that Natalia John coming off. She's had one hell of a shift today as well, hasn't she?
Yeah, absolutely outstanding. You could name almost 15 players in the Brython Thunder team who could be up for player of the match. We'll come round to discussing who will win player of the match in 5 minutes or so, but there's been so many players who've put their hands up for that.
Oh, absolutely. Like I don't know if you've seen my sheet in front of me, but I've just been ticking the names as I go along. And there's a few that I'm going to have a headache trying to decide. I won't lie.
Oh, Marshall with the ball into Lucy Isaac. I don't think she was expecting that ball to come at her so hot. Brython is playing deep in their own half. Can't be too long before they look to exit. Wolfhounds, they'll look to turn this ball over, throw a couple of bodies into breakdown. Marshall in the end clears the ball. Boylan collects it, decides to go towards this near touchline. Gwen Crabb, huge shot from the skipper. Dujang, one more pass into Clenahan. In the pocket, Dan O'Brien, plenty of space and bodies for the Wolfhounds towards the far touchline. A couple of passes, but Brython have managed to scramble across.
Step back.
Slightly slower ball here for the visitors. The champions, the undefeated Wolfhounds. 10 minutes to go on the clock before they face what could potentially be their first defeat. The ball's gone forward. Brython Thunder have possession. And there needs to be a scrum half. Gwen Crabb steps in. Robin Davis, a show and go. Marshall moving it out. Bluck. Isaac. Amy Williams onto the far side. Sharon Singleton. And Brython Thunder here marching over the gain line. Kate Williams, big hit in the middle of the park. Lockwood to Marshall in the pocket. Marshall will look to go for the crossfield kick towards Stacey Flood. The ball is loose. Robin Davis first to it. And the ball's down. Big tackle here. This time it was Georgia Iono. Bodies are aching. Tired passes, tired legs out there. But who wants it more? Flood takes a moment before going for the kick. But the chase is on. The bounce of the ball on the soft surface into Hannah Marshall. Ball's gone forward. But it's got to be said, time's running out.
Yeah, it just looks like wolfhounds are really trying to force it now. They're kind of losing their shape, and it's creating these like knock-ons or like the ball going backwards just because they're not prepared for it. They really are starting to force it now though, and this is playing into Brython's hands.
So don't go off that one. Don't go that far.
Another scrum. Wolfhounds being forced to play from within their own half. They need 2 converted tries for a draw. Is it fair to say the victory is potentially out of their hands? They won't be able to get there?
I'm not counting my chickens before they hatch, because you know what, that's when it all goes belly up. So I think at the moment it's definitely advantage Brython, but you can't ride off wolfhounds. Like they're defending champions for a reason.
Undefeated.
So, yeah, undefeated. So I think Brython just have to keep the composure. Like this reset again is eating down time. But I can't say wolfhounds have been much of a threat in attack today. They just kicked away a lot of the possession.
Yeah, it's been so blunt from wolfhounds today. They'll have to lick their wounds before they face Gwalia and then the Clovers to see out the season. Oh, there's acres of space for the wolfhounds to attack. Seren Singleton working across to make the tackle on Amy Lan. Bodies into the breakdown from both red and blue jerseys. The ball is loose on the deck. Oh, and Brython look to steal. Stolen. And again, this is just showing the heart that this team of youngsters from West Wales have this season. Looking to go 3 wins on the bounce. Hannah Marshall takes her eye off the ball, and the kick prodded through. Oh, and there's some confusion in the backfield as well from Wolfhounds. We'll go back for the scrum as the clock ticks on.
That is one of the very few errors Hannah Marshall has made today. But once again, I think the difference is the backs for Brython Thunder. They've gone on more of a cold D, which means that they're tracking back and following the defence instead of coming up really hard and trying to get into their faces. And I think that has made a massive difference for them in their defensive line today, and they've been really able to handle the Wolfhounds.
Substitution. Gwen Crabb comes off the park. Shauna Wakely wearing the unfamiliar number 25 in the second row.
Yeah, I thought she was retired, but
I thought the same. But clearly not. When you love rugby, you just want to play.
Well, that's it. And she's always a good person to have on your team. She's good fun.
That looks to have slid forward, and it has from the hands of Dana O'Brien. A scrum for Brython Thunder. Quick opportunity here then for us to discuss play of the match. Firstly, who's been in contention, and then who's taken the prize?
Well, in contention 1 to 23. So I would think in the forward pack, wow, it's a really hard one. Gwen Crabb has played, she's been all over the park on both sides. You have Natalia John. They've just all been working so hard. Georgia Iona's really stood out for me, and obviously Kate Williams just goes about her business. But in the back line, Hannah Block I've seen better lines from Hannah Block this week, which has put pressure on.
Oh, there's an opportunity for Brython Thunder to seal the victory here. Iono drops the ball, it's gone backwards. Plenty of space towards this near side. Shauna Wakely trying to secure the ball. We'll come back to play the match in a moment. Oh, as the ball's gone forward, but that was a big opportunity for Brython Thunder.
Oh, it was a great run from Georgia Iona. She's one of the definitely one in contention for player of the match. Hannah Block, I thought, like I said, has been running some great lines. Seren Singleton, great at 9. And Hannah Marshall, her control of the game today, It's the best I've seen her in a long, long time. She's been playing really well, but I really don't want to make a decision.
I thought you were going to land on a play after the whole spiel.
Yeah, it's between two, and you know what? I can't be predictable and go for a forward. I think Georgia Iona is definitely so close to it, but Hannah Marshall is my player of the match. She's controlled this game so well. She's been phenomenal today for me.
Hannah Marshall, yeah, she's been absolutely excellent. And the kicking game, I would say, has been the key differentiator between the two sides. To go head-to-head with Dana O'Brien, 30 caps for Ireland. A young fly half, but experienced as well. To go head-to-head with her and come out on top says a lot about Hannah Marshall.
Absolutely, she's just been so composed today. Hasn't, been rattled at all. She has just gone about her business, and like the way she has played, she's played. The game management has been very, very clever today from her.
And looks like to be enjoying every minute.
Oh, absolutely, I'm sure she won't be happy with all the mud in her hair, but after 2 or 3 washes she'll be fine.
Yeah, the announcement's just been made. As we see Hannah Marshall thank the supporters. Couple of minutes to go. Wolfhounds now on the cusp of losing their first game in the Celtic Challenge this year. Wolfhounds have never lost to anyone outside of Ireland. Another error from the visitors as Brython Thunder. Well, how much would they love to score one more just to make sure to make that victory even sweeter?
Oh well, you always want to score one more, don't you? Yeah, I think it's just hold on to the ball at this stage, regardless if they score one more try. Maybe on points difference, but it's not going to make a difference to the getting a bonus point, try bonus point. So it's just retaining the ball now is what they need to do. Like this, once again, scrum eating up time. This is what is going to play into Brython's hands.
Like you were saying, the scrum is just eating time now. This is just playing into the hands of Brython. Wolfhounds, they've got a lot to think about after this. It's back to the drawing board really for them, but it's been a tough game, poor conditions, but regardless it's been a disastrous performance.
Like I said, I think they've rested some players, kind of underestimated Brython a little bit, and this is, Brython have gone, thank you very much, and looking to take the win now.
Shauna Wakely showing the power that she still possesses. Hannah Marshall sees the space, goes for the grubber. The ball bounces up to Linda Dujang, who's going to look to go the whole length here. Over the ball, penalty to Brython Thunder, and stealing it, well, potentially the smallest player on the park, Sarah Singleton.
Yeah, the backs and forwards getting involved in turnovers today.
Time off.
It looks to be a bad injury off the ball as well. Not 100% sure who's picked up that knock. She is sat up by now. I believe it might be Savannah Picton-Powell.
Yeah, I think it is Savannah. Wow, I can imagine Ashley Beck is grinning like a Cheshire cat right now.
Yeah, I haven't got eyes on Ashley Beck. He's sat a fair few seats away from us, but I'm sure he's going to be delighted with what he's seen. He's always had faith in this group of players. He's always known that they've got something, and the last 2 performances showed a glimmer, but this shows the real character, potential and standard they have.
Yeah, when I spoke to him before the game, he had this quiet confidence about him. Like he was like, "Yeah, we've done our homework. I think we'll be all right." And yeah, honestly, they really have done their homework. They've nailed everything in terms of where they needed to look at the Wolfhounds' weaknesses, and they've just exploited them.
So Anna Picton-Powell has come off the field. It looks to be a nasty injury. But we see the Brython bench, they're all on their feet, they're ready for the final whistle.
The cheeky front ball to Lucy Isaac. Questions need to be asked of how many seconds left on the clock here. Lockwood to Megan Lewis. Big tackle from the Wolfhounds. How long is the question from the crowd? Georgia Iono hits the turf. Lockwood has the ball. Marshall puts it up high. It does cross the touchline. Brython Thunder have beaten the Wolfhounds, the undefeated reigning champions of the Celtic Challenge, have come to Parc Scarlets, and they've been defeated for the first time this season. Brython Thunder, look how much it means to every single one of those players. What a win. A tactical masterclass, could it be said, from Ashley Beck. The Wolfhounds are going to be bitterly disappointed to lose their undefeated streak. But it's a huge, huge win for Brython Thunder. 14 points to nil, hanging on through the second half. Wow.
Yeah, the girls should be very, very proud of themselves. They did not stop from minute 1 to minute 80. I can imagine Ashley Beck is going to be a very, very proud coach of that performance.
They showed guts, they showed fight, and they showed some quality as well despite the conditions.
Thank you, sir.
Yeah, absolutely. Like I said, different team. And you know what? The way they're playing at the moment, I think they're going to frighten a few of the other teams if they watch this today. But yeah, it's some of those performances, like I said, Georgia Iona, I almost feel guilty not being able to give 2 player of the matches, but here we are. Also had a phenomenal performance, but every single one of them, they definitely deserve a hot cup of tea now when they get into the junior rooms.
Yeah, absolutely. They're going to be begging to get some dry clothes on after this fantastic victory, and we see just how much it means to a lot of these players. They're all embracing each other, delighted with the victory. Kate Williams, Wales' co-captain, gathering and rallying the troops. And we hear how much it means to them. Look at the faces in there. And they are absolutely buzzing. Celebrations all around here at Parc Scarlets. Brython Thunder 14. Wolfhounds 0. What a way to celebrate what it seems to be Lucy Isaac's birthday as well. Ashley Beck getting into the mix, as we can see now, but these are the scores that made the difference. First try coming, it was Amy Williams with the first one. Great attacking flair from Brython Thunder, keeping the ball alive. And it's this pass, the bounce pass into the hands of Amy Williams, and shows the gas to go all the way. Just on the field now, we can see Wolfhounds players, they are leaving the park. They look absolutely devastated. They'll need to look at themselves hard in the mirror before they play against 2 strong sides. Gwalia Lightning away from home, and then Clovers at their own stomping ground. And then, yeah, here we go again. Amy Williams, just about enough speed to get around the outside. That was the first try. There was only 2 tries in this game, both converted by the player of the match, Hannah Marshall, and this the second. Good work from the forwards up front, putting the ball on a plate for Lockwood. Lockwood to Marshall, Marshall to Picton Powell, who picked up a painful injury towards the back end of the game. Hopefully she's going to be okay. But that was the try. That was enough. As we can see on the field, the players all having a picture. What a historic moment in the Celtic Challenge. Wolfhounds losing for the first time outside of Ireland. They've only lost 1 game, and that was to the Clovers last year, 7 from 7 this season, but now they've taken their first loss, and that to Brython Thunder, who are huge underdogs coming into today's game. The players delighted, the coaching team delighted. Brython Thunder 14, Wolfhounds 0, and what a